Your background's coming through, by the way.
Welcome to Tag Team Talk. This is the second episode. We missed last week. I had a little issue, little illness, tonsillitis, couldn't really do much. But we're back with the second episode, and there's a lot to talk about, a lot to digest that happened this, I guess, last weekend in WWE. So there's a lot of fun stuff, and I can't wait to get into it with y'all. I am the co-host of this with Justin, who's also at Kingmaker_DFF. How you doing, man?
Oh, doing pretty good, buddy. We finally get to hear from Its Cena and see what's going on with him. I'm excited to talk about it.
Hell yeah! I mean,
yep.
kind of got to hear what Its Cena had to say, and we'll get into that.
Hey, we got all the fans are in here tonight.
All the fans on here. A little goofball. So we had. I don't know how many subscribers we're at. I know it's kind of low. We only had one episode. So while you're here, like, share, subscribe, hit the buttons. And if you're a fan of football, AFC South, or the Colts, any of it in general, head on over to Curtis Podcast Network. There's this AFC South show, and we do Unstabled as well. We are the Colts fans, but we won't do too much of that on here.
Try to be diverse in our sports fandom.
We'll diverse. And I tried to get him to join. This is the second episode. We couldn't get the final boss on here either. And of course, I am referring to Curtis of the Curtis Podcast Network, CPN. I tried to get him on, but busy with the kids. So you're stuck with us. You're stuck with us. But yeah, make sure you hit the buttons, like, share, subscribe, show some love, and interact with us.
All the wrestling friends, all your wrestling fan friends, share it with them. Let them enjoy the love.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, just full disclaimer, we did this on the first episode, and just we know that, you know, this is kind of scripted. I mean, we understand that. We get it. We get the entertainment of it. To us, it's no different than watching a Spider-Man movie or, you know, whatever. It's entertainment, and we take it for what it is. And, you know, we're here to talk about it, and we just enjoy it. It's fun. It's kind of an escape from your everyday bullshit. Just really no different than watching a football game or baseball, whatever. Just to get away from the regular bullshit. So make sure you talk to us, comment. We'd love to interact. Let us know what you think. Obviously, we're going to talk about SmackDown. I don't particularly want to talk a lot about SmackDown. It was just kind of it's just kind of an Friday for me. There were some decent moments. So Justin and I are going to kind of go back and forth. He takes a lot more notes with the promos. I focus more on the matches. Usually.
That's what makes us a good tag team.
For sure. Tag team talk. Oh. Yeah.
See what we did there, everybody?
All comes together.
Mm.
So the first match of SmackDown, it was just kind of, to me, it was just kind of thrown together. It was Solo, Fatu, and Tonga, which, you know, the old bloodline, which I kind of feel like that whole storyline is just kind of fading off into the distance. It's not like, it's more about Fatu at this point than anything else.
Yeah.
And then there's LA Knight, Strowman, and Uso, which just a hodgepodge of just assembled people for some reason, you know, just kind of like, you know, somehow Palpatine returns. For some reason, they're teaming up.
You could kind of see how it was going to develop, though, because it started with you know, LA Knight's promo, you know, talking about being U.S. champ and everything, and of course Jimmy Uso, you know, is like comes out and he's like, I'm desperate, like just trying to get his WrestleMania spotlight, you know, because Jay's out there doing his thing with the Yeet and like just main eventing and just doing so well, winning Royal Rumble, going to WrestleMania. It's kind of like, you feel bad a little bit for Jimmy, but then again, you don't, because, you know, Jay's like the more athletic one and all that. But, you know, so Jimmy like challenged LA Knight for the belt. And then Solo comes out because, you know, the whole bloodline feud and this and that. So Solo got his thing.
The best part of this was Solo's like Mike screw up. And then after, you couldn't even take it seriously anymore. It was just that funny. Like, he was like, how about you and my family and you fuck up? And then Jimmy in the background was like, oh, what?
Yeah.
And they just
Solo kind of made it seem like he was going to say, like, somebody deserves a shot. This is going to be, and he goes, it's going to be Jacob Fatu, and like kind of swerves on you a little bit.
But it almost sounded like he was going to say, stay out of our like effing family's way. I can't tell which way he was going.
It was weird. It was good. It was a little swerve. A little swerve. Like, but, of course, they get into fighting back and forth, and you're thinking, like, oh, okay, so it's going to be, I don't know. Can you still call Solo like the bloodline stuff? Or is that still? I don't even know what's going on with that. I don't know if that's still established or what we have going on there.
Well, I mean, Roman Reigns has the Ulafalo, and it's just, I think that they've just moved on from calling themselves a new bloodline. They're just like my family kind of thing now, and they've kind of just moved past it. So that's why, to me, this is a lot of sink or swim for the three of them, because it seems like that big storyline that they had is just kind of.
Yeah, because they made it to where Jacob Fatu is like kind of challenging the authority of Solo, where Solo's kind of taken over. And now Jacob Fatu is, he's fighting he's feuding with a big guy like Strowman, which them attacking Knight and Uso, that involves Strowman. Now Strowman comes out because of him and Fatu, which I was like, okay, cool. Like, but you can kind of see as soon as Strowman came out, I'm like, I see where they're kind of going with this, setting up this first match of the night. Yeah. And of course, Nick Aldis, coming out there. What's he do? He pulls the old Teddy Long.
We're gonna make it official.
Makes it a tag team match, player, but 6-man tag team. So
yeah, and the match itself was okay. It seemed a little lull in the middle, but ultimately, Braun Strowman got the pin, and I think it was more of after the match as to when everything really broke down, and Fatu he did his like diving thing through Braun Strowman through the barricade, and I was like, okay, that's pretty cool.
yeah. I think he kind of missed though, like it's because Strowman was against the barricade, but he attacked way over here. He tackled there, which I get, like, but the camera angle was just at the wrong angle. I think if they were on the other side.
Yeah.
Then that's not their fault. That's a production issue. That's fine. But still, like it was the action that's what you're wanting to see. You're wanting to see him like be a tackle through the barricade and all that. But I was a little confused though. Who exactly are we setting up here for the U.S. title at WrestleMania?
I feel like
you have the Strowman Fatu thing, and I'm lost. I'm like, okay, are we trying to make this like just like battle royal, or what are we doing here?
I almost feel like some of these matches were put together as kind of fan service because they were overseas and they don't get a lot of they don't get a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like they were just trying to throw out the big names and just give the fans something that didn't really have any like consequence one way or the other. Like in the road to WrestleMania, it was just like we just want to give the fans this big son of a bitch. We want to give them Fatu. We want to
Well, being the first time in Barcelona, you're totally right. If I'm Triple H, that makes sense. You want to give the fans as many stars in front of their eyes as you can.
Yeah.
That way you can keep coming back and keep selling tickets and merchandise and all that stuff like that. Because it's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business. So no, it makes sense, But yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how they're going to what they're going to do with these 6 individuals. Maybe 5, because not so much Tama Tonga. I think they're still trying to figure out what to do with him. He's a great talent, but I think they're trying to figure out what to do with him.
Like just kind of an undefined role.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Tonga and Fatu, or even Tonga and Solo in more of a tag team kind of scenario, where they can keep that family aspect together.
Yeah,
that would be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, and then moving on, the next segment was the Jade Cargill interview, which, it was just kind of talking about Naomi, and then she's sick of hearing Naomi lie and complain and whatever, and bitch about this, that, and then it showed Liv Morgan and Raquel show up at the arena as she's giving the interview, and then it was just like a bickering little cat fight, and you're like, whatever. It was setting up a match for I think this week.
It's definitely going to be Jade and Naomi at some point. That's all going to come to a head, and I think that's probably going to be the WrestleMania. But I liked how the writing was going with Liv and Raquel coming up, seeing that Jade was already emotional, and then Jade storming off. I just can't do this right now, and then boom, she's leaving. But
I don't know. Nah.
you're supposed to be some big tough, authority, like muscular authority. But I mean, I get it. People have feelings too, right?
Yeah, she's a person too, Justin.
I never saw Brock Lesnar cry.
He never cried. But then it kind of led into the Cargill BFAB match. And the match itself was okay. I'm honestly over Charlotte Flair. It was okay. I think this is honestly my first time seeing BFAB wrestle. I don't know if that's a bad thing, if the wrestling community is going to come down hard on me for that, but I can't remember the last time. Like, it was just, again, another match that was just thrown out there for Charlotte to win.
Yeah, it definitely felt like a tune-up match, right? Like BFAB wasn't really worthy yet to be in the match with Charlotte.
Yeah.
But then again, Charlotte, I think she did so much cutting weight that she just doesn't look as dominant anymore. Because before she had the muscle tone, the athleticism. She's still athletic, don't get me wrong, but like she's very skinny now. Hopefully that makes her faster in the ring, but I thought she was better with the size on her. I thought with the muscles, it made her look more dominant.
Yeah.
More imposing. But I'm with you. I don't know much about BFAB other than she was with some other group. I can't remember. But
Street Profits, wasn't it?
Was it?
Wasn't she with the Street Profits?
I don't know. But she was with another team, and then I guess now they're trying to I wouldn't say push her, but trying to get her more involved. But I thought it was cool that they let her go with someone like Charlotte, who people are going to watch that match. So it gets eyes, her in front of eyes.
Yeah.
Even though, like I said, it felt like a tune-up match for Charlotte to get her ready for WrestleMania and maybe showcase BFAB a little bit, in front of the fans. But I mean, it wasn't. You were right, man. It was a very kind of mid-range match. It wasn't anything to write home about, but that wasn't the biggest stuff going on in the match.
Mm-mm. What came after was a lot better. Like there was a little extracurricular from Charlotte, kind of asserting her dominance, I guess, over BFAB and keeping her in a what was that? Goddamn figure eight. Jeez,
yeah,
I'm tired.
Which she took advance from her dad with the figure 4 leg lock. Which, I mean, her athleticism to be able to bend her body that way and create that much extra pressure on that knee, that's impressive to be able to do stuff like that. But
but so Tiffany comes down, breaks it up, fights with Charlotte Flair. It keeps going and going, and she did some really cool shit like flip off the screen or whatever. Like, Tiffany Stratton's athletic as hell.
Well, a former gymnast, so you would expect to see moves like that from someone with her background and her ability.
Yeah,
but it didn't help that the fans had been poking at Charlotte Flair during the match, screaming, chanting Tiffy time. So that had to be getting with her the whole time. So just taking all that anger out on BFAB, she just happened to be there. Mm-hmm. But it was good that Tiffany runs out to help out BFAB. And then of course, as always, the local talent that they got to showcase. I mean, the Barcelona, wrestling crews and stuff like that. Got to bring those security guards out there.
But I guess the biggest part of that came at the beginning of Miz TV, where like they went to commercial break, came back, and Charlotte Flair and Tiffany are still fighting, kind of interrupted Miz's spot. It was kind of random and funny, and then and then the whole segment of Miz TV was just Miz talks some shit, introduce Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes comes out, hits him with his move. And just, I don't want to talk to anybody else but Cena. It just seemed like, again, this was in Barcelona just to get Cody Rhodes in front of people, to get Miz in front of people. Not really a point to it. Like John Cena wasn't there. It was just kind of another filler thing just to put faces out there for Barcelona.
Yeah.
The segment itself, I mean, Cody Rhodes isn't great on the microphone. I'm just gonna say it. Like, he's getting better, but I'm still not like, wow, this guy, he throws some heat into the mic. These are some pipe bombs. Like the swearing sounds a little forced. Like when he's like, hey, go fuck yourself to The Rock. It was just like he adds emphasis to it, and it just doesn't flow off the tongue.
It definitely seems like that's not his natural flow of conversation. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I don't have a problem so much with Cody. I think he's going to get really good. I think his mic skills are going to get really good because with him going with John Cena, they're going to be talking a lot back. Hey, do this, and this. But then again, I mean, Cody's got a great understanding of the business already. I mean, his dad, his brother. I mean, so
I'm not saying he's bad. I mean, I think he's entertaining. I don't think he's as entertaining as when like Roman Reigns had it. You know what I'm saying? Had the title, but I mean, he's getting there. It's just some of his promos are still kind of stale. Some of it, like, it's just I don't know. It's not bad, but it's not like mind blowing either.
Yeah, he's still doing the AEW. What do you want to talk about? I get it. That's your
you're not asking me because you're just gonna talk about what you want to.
Which is the thing. Which is the he's asking that rhetorical question. He already knows what everybody wants to talk about. Obviously, right now they want to talk about John Cena. But no, I'm not worried about Cody too much. I'd rather a botched Miz, not a botched, but a boring Miz TV segment than Drew McIntyre in his lame promo talking about how he keeps getting screwed at every championship and this and that. Big crybaby Drew.
For a while, Drew McIntyre was gold on the mic, like leading up to he was gold on the microphone. It was like, okay, this is the Drew that I've been waiting for. Like, he's a smart ass, he's an asshole, and he was talking so much shit about CM Punk and Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. I'm like, okay. Like, he sat down in the middle of the ring and he's like, hey, cameraman, don't look up my kilt, you pervert. Like,
that was funny. That is good stuff. 100%. That's
now it's the same thing over and over with him, and it's just kind of got stale.
It did get a little stale.
Yeah.
But the Miz TV and all that stuff was weird, but
and then you kind of get into the next match with Priest and Nakamura. Again, this was just another random thing that was just kind of thrown out to it seemed like most of SmackDown. That's why I just kind of said it was like a mess SmackDown, because none of these matches really seemed, and none of these segments really seemed to develop into anything. It was just, we just want to get as much talent out in front of the crowd, but we don't really have the people here that we want. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, when you're leaving the States, it's hard to get everybody, especially like your part-time talent, all on board. I mean, you got, with the Priest match you're talking about with Nakamura, I don't think people are as invested in Shinsuke Nakamura as they once were. Like, when he first came, I mean, he was hot. They were pushing him for all the titles, this and that. But Priest is kind of like that's what they want to really see right now. And of course, with Drew's little pity party that he had, and Damian Priest was one of them that he was talking about. So it doesn't surprise me that Drew wants to stick his nose in this match and come out and keep Priest from winning.
My big issue is during that whole Stratton Charlotte Flair brawl, there was dozens of security, guys that get thumped on the head and they're out of the picture for a month. Like, it had dozens of these guys, and then out of nowhere, Drew McIntyre shows up, and not a single person came to stop that. It's like there's a consistency issue here. Like, we're stopping
give me the continuity,
but not this. Like, you just did all 24 of these guys get knocked out by Charlotte Flair and Stratton? Like, little consistency, WWE, just a little. It's just, it seems like they're doing it too much. Like, too many times the bodyguards come running out there. Too many times, it's just, I don't know if that's like the new era of WWE that we're in, that we're trying to actually like preserve the fight for the match, and it just seems like there's too many brawls are getting like stopped with security.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you remember, kind of back in the day, when I say back in the day, like Attitude, and then even before Attitude, there was the challenger and the champion. They would have a dance on the shows and stuff like that, but they would never like have a match, or the challenger never touched the belt, because that was always taboo. You don't touch a belt that you didn't win, like all that stuff. But now that's not the case. Like, now you can have the challenger and the champion, one either fighting together as a tag team or on opposite teams with a tag team, because you want to preserve that one-on-one, but we've already seen kind of that one-on-one if they're on opposite sides of a tag team. So you're losing that mystique. You know, I'd like to see it go back to that, to where it's literally a dance. You know, like we're playing a game until we actually correlate at the pay-per-view. Well, back then it was pay-per-view. You know, now it's the PLE, the Premium Live Event.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see that.
I don't think there was a few that did it really well. They kind of preserved, like you're saying, that dance, that one-on-one, and they were kind of playing mind games. Brock Lesnar did it really good. Like when he'd be going after somebody, going after a title or defending, he'd come out, someone's talking all this shit about him. He'd come out and get all hyped up, jump around, jump up on the apron, and then get off and get back down there. Like just
build the crowd up and then let them down. Yes, exactly. That's ultimate heel move right there.
Yeah. I'm like, that was solid shit.
Yeah.
And we'll get into it. Cena did it a couple of times too. Like, fuck you guys.
Yep.
So I don't know. The match itself, I don't know, it was weird. I think I'd honestly say the match of the night was Carmelo Hayes and Randy Orton. It was a thrown together match. But Carmelo Hayes is really good. Like, he's super talented. And Orton is fucking Orton. Like, the legend. Like, I honestly think this was the match of the night because these are two very different types of athletes, two very different types of wrestlers. But it worked. It worked in this match.
It did.
I liked it.
Because you had Hayes who was such an athletic freak with his speed.
Yeah.
And then you have Orton, who's athletic in a different regard, but he's got so much power.
Yeah.
And I think that worked out really well. But I can't honestly say there was any point. Now, of course, you know, we tell the fans all the time, like, we understand this is a scripted show. It's entertainment. It's just a TV show. But in the reality of, if a Carmelo Hayes were to get in a real fight with a Randy Orton, you never once got that feeling like Carmelo Hayes would kick Randy Orton's butt.
Yeah.
So, suspending reality, it was very, very good.
Okay, it's like the Rey Mysterio and that triple threat. What was it, Big Show and what was it, Mark Henry? There's no way when Mysterio's winning this match. Like, there's no way. Suspend belief. The little underdog. He got the.
Let's live in the fantasy world for a little bit.
Yeah. So the match itself, I mean, it was good. It was entertaining. And Randy Orton, I'm kind of waiting for him, and it seems like it's coming, where that heel turn back to old Orton is coming. And because he, tried to shake Hayes' hand, he did the, whatever to him. And then he tried to do it again at the end of the match after he beat Carmelo Hayes, and Hayes, pushed his face away, and then he just RKO'd the shit out of him. And then he went again for the patented, punt, and Kevin Owens showed up, pulled Carmelo Hayes out of the ring. I'm like, why aren't we able to see this fucking punt? I want to see it. Where's the punt?
They're probably building it up and saving it for WrestleMania.
I want to see
but I do not want to see Randy Orton and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania.
That's what it's going to be.
Us that. Please don't give me that trash. Because I want to see Randy Orton and John Cena feud all the way into SummerSlam after WrestleMania. I want to see that rivalry reborn.
They've got to bury this Kevin Owens story. They got to end it, because they were friends and they were teaming up. They were RKO for a while. Like, he's the one that kind of, I think Randy Orton took a little break. I don't think he was actually hurt, but he put him on the shelf with his pile driver. And, he's got to get his. I feel like they're trying to just give a match to Orton and Owens at WrestleMania. That's what they're building up for. And I hope, I don't know what's going to happen with Cena. I don't know if this is like a temporary heel run. We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, but I don't know if this is a temporary heel run and he's going to kind of go back to the old Cena by the time we have until December. I mean, it's really the way that I see it. So I don't know if he's going to stay a heel that whole time, because I want to see a little bit of a heel run from Cena, but I also want to see him go back to that, the whatever of the last 20 years, and then have the Viper, the full-on heel Randy Orton, and I want to see them go at it. Like, that's what I want to see. But I don't want to see a face Orton and a heel Cena. That'd just be weird.
That would be kind of weird. But I mean, they love Orton, man. Orton's a huge face right now, and I just feel like they're gonna let Cena ride out this heel run as long as he wants. But I mean, we'll see. So, did you after this match? Did you notice something that was weird to me? They had like I don't know if you want to count it as a promo or not, but like the screen, it was like a smoky screen, like real ominous, and then a number 4, like the number 4 in the middle of it showed up, and then that was it. It was like a real smoky. Yeah, it was a real smoky screen with a number 4. I'm curious, like, are they trying to like hint something, like a new talent coming in?
Usually when they do something like that, it's I don't remember seeing that though.
Yeah. If any of you watching have any ideas, drop that in the comments and let us know who you think that is or what that's all about. You know, I'm sure this won't be the last time we see something that they drop. Yeah. And we'll talk about it next time. But let us know what you think that is.
Again, another match that I felt they just threw together. Gunther and Axiom, like this really didn't like
fan service.
Fan service. Barcelona, he's whatever. Axiom, and it's like Gunther and Axiom. Like it seems like all they're doing right now is just hurting Gunther on the way to WrestleMania. Yeah. Like he's getting pushed to his limits by wrestlers that really shouldn't be.
Right. Yeah. Don't fan service a little cruiserweight to your champion. This is your big belt title holder. I mean, I get it. He's the Barcelona kid. Like, I get it, but not against Gunther, man.
Yeah, like not against have him go up against what's his name, the Phantasma, whatever he is. What's his name?
Oh yeah, Santiago or something like that. I would even say if you want to put Axiom in a title match, give him like, I mean, I want to say Braun, but he's a different show. Yeah. I mean, give him somebody else who would make for a great, fun exhibition match. Yeah. If you're trying to push that guy in front of Barcelona.
It just really seems like they're just hurting Gunther's image. Like they're almost preparing us for Jey Uso to win at WrestleMania. Is really what it feels like. Because these guys
getting
seem
us
to be
mentally ready to say like, oh, he almost got beat by this guy. So
like, Gunther is getting pushed by talent that he really shouldn't be getting like that much of trouble with. If that makes sense. It just seems like they're setting us up for, Jey Uso is going to beat him at Mania.
Yeah, this should have been a squash match.
Yeah.
An NXT guy, cruiserweight, like your world champion should have killed this guy.
Yeah, what's going on, Eric?
I mean, as always, we knew Gunther was going to win. That just was, we didn't have any doubts in our minds.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. It just felt like a match that didn't need to happen. You could have done some sort of promo with Axiom and not have him get, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And the final match, I mean, it was actually a really good match. I thought it was. Like I'm honestly over DIY and the Street Profits. I feel like they've been putting in a little bit of extra work. I felt like it was in fact their time. Yeah. So it was a tag team match to end the show out, and the Street Profits finally got theirs over. They got the win over DIY.
Yep.
For the title, and I felt that was just a moment coming.
They are champions again.
Yep.
Yeah,
and it's just kind of sucked that it didn't happen with Bobby Lashley managing him.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good fit because Bobby Lashley had this like corporate CEO kind of feel to him, like okay, I'm trying to pass the torch, all that stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And but you can tell like while they were running together there for a while, they were starting to put on some beef, man. Like they looked like they were hitting the gym with old Bobby. Yeah. So they're looking pretty good. I'm a Street Profits fan. I like this. Even if they have like a little heel to them, I don't care. I think they have that right balance. The fans still love them, but they can be a little mean and nasty. I like it. It works. But like you said in the beginning, this show was just kind of meh. Just didn't really blow your socks off, nothing like that. It's not like not like how we did on Monday though. Monday was pretty decent.
Monday was great. So he obviously it started off with John Cena, and we're gonna, and you know what? I'm gonna start this Raw segment. It's still in Europe.
Brussels.
Yeah,
Brussels, right? Yeah, Brussels.
Mm-hmm. And it was John Cena comes out, same music, dressed the same, and I think everybody was anticipating maybe like a run back to his old song or kind of like a corporate Cena type of thing. And it's just the same Cena dressed in the same stuff with the same song. And you're kind of like, this doesn't really fit what happened at the Elimination Chamber.
Right.
And he just has this very stoic face, walks slowly to the ring, and the crowd is, John Cena sucks. And it's like, this is kind of a throwback to the old. And it was at that point when Cena picks up the microphone that I wish that the crowd would shut the fuck up.
This isn't a Dominic Mysterio situation.
We've waited 20 years for Cena to do what he did at Chamber. And the crowd could not shut up for 2 minutes for this man to get. He's one of the best to ever do it on a microphone.
Yep.
And you couldn't shut the hell up for him to be a heel for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And Cena let him do it. Let him, John, let's go, Cena. Cena sucks. Hold on. Oh my God. He's on his farewell tour, Eric. He's doing his.
So get all you can.
The last time is now,
Tag
baby.
Team Talk, and we will keep giving you all the Cena updates.
Yeah. So he comes out, tries to cut a promo. They won't shut up. He keeps putting the mic down like he walks away, and then the crowd boos him. He picks it up, and then they keep saying Cena sucks. And it just really goes to prove his point of everything that he said in the promo, that he's in this dysfunctional relationship with this crowd, and he specifically pointed at a little kid. And Triple H was like, put the kid on camera. And, and the whole thing was just him, no matter what I do, I came into this business and I sucked. I didn't know how to wrestle. You let me know I didn't know how to wrestle. So what did I do? I worked harder. And it wasn't good enough. And then I started winning and winning and winning. And it wasn't good enough. It was never enough for you. So basically he's like, now you've got your little new shiny new toy in Cody Rhodes, and you're throwing me out with the
like being upset because they hated. He accused the fans of hating and taking advantage of how much he won because he was so good, and they hated that he was so good. But he was the one working hard, the hustle, the loyalty, the respect, saying that he's the only one, that he lives by those words, and, saying that he's been the victim this whole time. You just take and you take and you take, and it's never enough. And, like you talk about Cody being the new shiny toy.
And John Cena killed the what thing that Stone Cold used to do. He's like, what do I get? What do I get? What do I get? Nothing. You get nothing. Your time is over. My time is now. It's like, So whenever the crowd shut up long enough for Cena to talk, the segment was great. Like his whole segment was great. Yeah. And like I like being fans that we've been for the last 20, 25 years, we've waited for this. It's here, it's happening, and we're fucking stoked for it. And then the people that Cody, F off. I want to see the 17th. I want to see him win it. Cody has plenty of time to win it back again. Like he got it. He got the title. He held it for a year.
Yeah.
It's Cena's 17th run. And at least it wasn't just like, oh, he's still the same Cena. And it's just like a mutual respect handing off of the title. Just gift wrapping him.
Right. Because then it seems like you're just giving him the title. He didn't go and earn it. At least with this, like, there's a complete change of character. Well, I can't say complete because, the gear is also the same, but a change of character. So now he's going to use a chair. He's going to use the kendo stick. He's going to use all the things that before the loyalty and respect he didn't use. So now he's going to be using those things. And you say, okay, he won the match because he cheated. Okay, cool. At least that goes with him being a heel. I can buy into that.
I'm sorry. Are you new to this? Have you never watched an Edge match? Have you never watched a Randy Orton match? They're just like the perfect opportunists, and that's really what he's coming in as. He saw CM Punk take that Seth Rollins stomp, and he didn't hesitate. I'm gonna lock
not at all.
FU.
He didn't hesitate at all. He said, "Oh, thank you for that gift. Let me grab that leg and pin him real quick." And when someone hands you that gift, you take it and you do not look back.
Because like the old Cena would have like checked on CM Punk and asked if he was okay, let him get back to his feet and then restart the match. That's the old Cena. This guy, nah.
Nope.
nope, it's there. I'm taking it. But yeah, and then Cody Rhodes came out and he, this is the Cena that I get, and he was like, I was fine whenever you beat my ass, and I thought we'd go back and forth. And he's like, instead I get this whiny little bitch, and it's just, and that Cena could have cooked him. We've seen him. Like, there's an old video of John Cena and Brock. He's like, Brock, I know you didn't get a concussion. In order to get a concussion, you have to have a brain.
Yeah.
It's like he could have cooked Cody Rhodes at any point.
Cena is one of the best on the mic in the history of the business. I mean, he's up there with your Rocks and your Flairs, man.
Yeah. Yeah. He did like a 3-minute like poop joke with Booker T back in the day. And it was hilarious. It was completely immature.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous and hilarious. Like, it was a 3-minute just constant poop joke, like him farting in the ring and stuff. Like, it was stupid. It's funny. And it's like he just makes it work. It's like, he could have really got, like, he's gone toe to toe on the mic with The Rock. You could tell, like, even in their segments, he got under The Rock's skin a few times. Because
these guys, like, I've heard on interviews and stuff, like, some of these guys, they'll bring some personal stuff in just to get a reaction. If the other guy's not reacting the way they want, they'll throw little personal jabs at him and stuff. So, like, I would really like to see John Cena get pretty nasty with his words.
It's maybe not so much like it's coming from the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah. Maybe not like, so much nasty where like just using curse words where they're not necessary, but nasty as far as like making fun of his neck tattoo, which Cody said he regrets getting, like just so many things, like, oh, you had to go because you were crying about Vince McMahon not, letting you be you, like stuff like that. Stuff that Cody has clearly come out and said, stuff that bothers him and bothered him. Use that stuff, that fuel. I think we're going to see some really good heel promos from Cena. I'm excited.
I hope so. It's you can even see them doing it to Seth Rollins, like his family, his wife is you can't just talk about a dude's wife and then they're like, oh yeah, who wears the pants in this relationship, and she dresses more like a man than you, and like it's just little digs, and it's like, and they say it just to piss him off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when your wife's character is she's the man, then you're opening a huge door for all kind of trash talk.
I've never liked Becky Lynch, just for the record. Like, I'm not saying she's a bad person.
Becky Lynch. I didn't like her early.
Not believable as this powerhouse. Like, it's just not believable to me. I'm sorry. I think she's part of the reason why I was so supportive of like a women's Intercontinental in United States. Like, I just don't see her going toe to toe with like Nia Jax and Jade Cargill. Like,
or Rhea Ripley.
She's like 17 pounds soaking wet. It's just not believable. Yeah. I don't know. I've never been a big Becky Lynch fan. I don't know. Never been.
No, I feel that. I mean, everybody has their favorites. I mean, I like a lot of people that you don't like. So I mean, that's good. That's what makes this show so great. Is we can all be fans of different characters, and then at the end of the day, understand. Okay, now they're friends outside of here, but on the show they're enemies. Of course, kayfabe died a long time ago. Thanks a lot, Internet.
Thanks, Internet. And the next match, again, it was just kind of another just thrown together filler match. Ludwig Kaiser and Penta. This match was really just there for Penta to say that he wants the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, just another Penta push, yeah. But it was no holds barred.
It was no holds
barred. So Ludwig, being the evil heel that he is, can use anything at his advantage. Which, fun fact about Ludwig Kaiser, if you didn't know, his only claim to fame is he's dating Tiffany Stratton. I mean, that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I must have missed this one.
What do we got?
Dakota Kai and Ivy Nile. I don't remember. Like, I must have accidentally skipped that one.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of Ivy Nile. I think she is a great talent. I wouldn't mind seeing her as future champion. I think she's just got that aura about her with some more polish. Because of course, just like every champion, you've got to be good on the mic. Mm-hmm. So I think once they get that going, I don't think she needs to stay with American Made, Chad Gable's faction and the Creed brothers. I don't think that's going to be her long-term thing here. But Dakota Kai is always fun to watch. Like Dakota Kai is another very athletic person. Her and another wrestler, Tegan Knox, came up together, who always got struck by injury, ACLs, and all this stuff like that. But luckily, Dakota has been able to stay healthy. But this was a good match until like American Made causing issues. Creed Brothers coming out, Chad Gable like just causing distractions and all this. But then you get LWO, of course, as we've been seeing with the LWO and American Made. Like it's weird because it kind of seems like America versus Mexico, and I don't want to like. I don't know if they realize how close that is, like if that's maybe like a sensitive subject. But on the flip side of that, he's tapping into reality though. And I refer to Triple H, is he's tapping into reality. Like, okay, there could be some static here, so let's do this because our countries are next door to each other. Just same thing with Canada. With same things with America. Like if you had a Canadian faction like back in the day with Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart, like all them versus America. But of course, they come out big distraction. Dakota Kai wins it from Ivy Nile, which I don't know. I didn't like the way they did that, but I think that's setting up Ivy Nile for something else.
Yeah. Then we get into the whole Jey Uso, Austin Theory, and Gunther again. But first it was Bianca and Io Sky signed their contract. Pissed off Rhea Ripley shows up. And it seems like that they're barking up a triple threat match at WrestleMania. Because she picks up the contract. Adam Pearce yelling at her. And I was going to say Alec Pierce, Jesus Christ. Crossing up unstable with WWE. Yelled at her to give it back. And she signed the contract, which
it's a legal document.
It's a legal document with her
legal document. Hey, I'm okay with this, brother. I am okay with anything involving Rhea Ripley. Yeah. I've been on the Rhea Ripley train since the Mae Young tournament, and I'm not getting off anytime soon. I think she's phenomenal. She is. Her and Charlotte, to me, are the face of women's wrestling right now in WWE.
And I'm okay with it, too. It seemed like every single match so far to this point at WrestleMania was singles. Yeah. And there wasn't really anything to mix it up. Yeah. So if this does turn into a triple threat, it'll be kind of a nice change of pace for WrestleMania. And if it was just Bianca Belair and Io Sky, I'd give it like a night one mid card. Like it doesn't really excite me. You know what I mean?
I'm not invested in Io Sky. I just there's nothing about the character that just like makes me want to like, oh, I gotta watch Io match. Like,
yeah, same thing with Bianca Belair. I'm over it.
Are you? I think Bianca's nice in the regard of like she's that powerhouse. Like she's legit strong. Like she's another freak athlete. Which is why I enjoyed like when her and Jade were together, that her and Naomi were together, because like no matter what, you've got a great tag team, a very athletic tag team. No matter what, any of those three are together in a tag team. But just Io, man, I'm not invested in that. So like I'm gonna watch this match because I want to see Bianca and Rhea, man.
Yeah, that's really where it's at. And I feel like that the egos of them two are gonna cost both of them again. And it's gonna be Io Sky winning at Mania. Like it's kind of how it.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby?
Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby? After that, there was also a little backstage interaction with Rhea Ripley. Still talking about the contract. Bianca Belair came in and started fighting again. Io Sky, whatever. They had to separate him again, and once again now the security was there to break that one up.
They were on coffee break.
They were on a coffee break for McIntyre, but they showed up for this one. So Jey Uso came out with Austin Theory. Grayson Waller helped, whatever.
Of course.
Uso made quick work, got the spear, and then, of course, Gunther shows up.
Yeah. He won with a crossbody, bro.
Yeah.
What? Like, who set this match up? This was a waste of time.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. You're putting Jey Uso in front of fans in Brussels. Like, cool. But you could have figured something else out. Like, this was a wasted match. Like, I literally put down here, lame match. Won by crossbody? Question mark?
Yeah.
And then his top rope dive, he had a little incident. His feet caught the rope as he was trying to do a dive. But these things happen, man. With these high flyers, you're not gonna have 100% success rate.
Yeah.
So you can't be mad at him for that. He's still entertaining. But yeah,
so
Gunter coming.
He tried to get the choke on Uso, but Jey Uso fought back, ripped the World Heavyweight Championship belt off of his waist, and was kind of standing tall. And Gunther looked, I'm sure it's part of the script, but he looked a little scared of Jey Uso. And it's like, it's hard to tell what swerve Triple H is going to pull on this. Like, is he going to have Gunther retain at Mania? Because they're trying to make it seem like he's scared now. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it feels like that they're just like Gunther's off his game. Jey Uso has his number, and they're just preparing us for an Uso win. I don't know.
Well, and this is one of the things where I was talking about earlier. Like, I don't like the fact that people that aren't the champion are hoisting the belts up and like have so much interaction with the belts that they haven't won yet. Like, I don't like that because it used to be such a taboo thing, like kind of superstitious in a way, even though it's scripted, I get it. But like, I don't know. It seems like you should be fighting and clawing to get there to be able to raise that title.
Yeah.
Like now they're just letting anybody go grab a belt and raise it up in the air. It's like, come on, man. But that's just me. Like anybody, you guys and girls can have your opinions, but that's just me. I feel like the belt's sacred.
Yeah. Then the next one, the Creeds versus LWO. And it's who is this masked assailant wearing the American-made mask?
Man, who is this guy? Man, where did he come from?
Like, I think like Michael Cole and whatever, they're like, who could it be? Like,
I don't have a clue.
Take it seriously.
I am so baffled. Like, man, did we sign a new Lucha Libre star that we don't know?
Chad Gable doing an interview, and then someone with the mask was behind him, so it couldn't have been Chad Gable.
Nope.
Like, they couldn't print more.
We saw Chad Gable earlier that night with no mask on, so it's not Chad Gable. It's not Chad Gable.
Once you have the mask on, you can never remove it, so it can't be Chad Gable.
But whoever this mystery person is, they're even copying Chad Gable's "thank you." Like they're really doing a good job trying to pretend like they're Chad Gable.
Yeah. It would be a huge swerve if it was actually somebody else trying to frame Chad Gable. Like that would be kind of funny.
Yeah,
but
who is this mystery Lucha?
Oh, the guy that
tune in next week to find out more.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Like even the announcers are like, really?
Yeah, I mean, like it literally says American made right here. Like, come on, man.
It's just funny. That's all it is. It's just funny.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, this match was just kind of whatever. I like the Creed brothers, but they don't. I don't know. I like them being with Chad Gable though. I do, because they're all like shoot wrestlers. I'm down with it. Just like how Kurt Angle, did it. Which Kurt Angle did Charlie Haas, Shelton Benjamin, and they did all that, right? And then you had American Alpha with Chad Gable and Jason Jordan. Which Jason Jordan, it sucks that he got hurt because I think he could have been, pretty good talent. I would have liked to see Chad Gable and Jason Jordan go on a big run because they were a great tag team. They pretty much dominated NXT when they were there. But I think the Creed brothers are trying to do the what they did with trying to use Chad Gable as the new Kurt Angle, and then the Creed brothers are the new Haas and Benjamin.
So, and then we get into the final of Raw, where Seth Rollins comes out, talks about Roman Reigns, talks about CM Punk. It was just another yapping filler segment. And I mean, there was that steel cage match where Roman Reigns came out, and I did like Seth Rollins. He's like, I understand why he did it. I'd have done the exact same thing. He just kind of laughed it off. He's like, but he only listens to the wise man. He doesn't calculate some things. And now I've got to clean up his mess with CM Punk. like Roman Reigns left unfinished business there. And yeah, so it's that's another WrestleMania match that they're cooking. I don't know if it'll be a triple threat or Rollins versus Punk. I'm not really sure what tree they're barking up with this one, but
maybe a triple.
I'm interested in where he's going with it and what they're going to do with Paul Heyman. Is it like for custody of Paul Heyman? Like, is it going to be a custody battle?
Yeah, because let's not forget, everyone, like CM Punk was a Paul Heyman guy before Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And you can tell Roman Reigns did not like it when Paul Heyman was consoling Punk in the ring. He did not like it. He had that evil eye. So Roman Reigns has got something for Punk, man.
And we still need to figure out what the favor was for when CM Punk was with the OTC at the Survivor game. So we got to figure out what's going on there. They haven't really talked. I mean, the announcers have brought it up a few times, but they haven't really delivered any kind of promo or anything on it. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes with that.
Yeah, we'll see where they go with that.
So we get into the Intercontinental match, Breaker and Balor. And again, suspend belief. There's no way that Finn Balor is actually going to be a guy like Braun Breaker. Just the dude's so fast and so physical, so athletic that where you can just jump to the top rope and then do that. Oh, it's what the fuck is that?
You don't see this with anybody else. Like
the athleticism.
It's crazy. So like Braun Breaker is like he's building more size and stuff like, but the sheer athleticism, like we haven't seen this type of athleticism since a young Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not saying Braun Breaker is like gonna be Brock Lesnar. I'm not saying that, but as far as being able to go from 0 to 1,000 instantly, we saw that with Brock Lesnar. It's very rare when we see these big body guys be able to move that way. Like I'm a huge Braun Breaker fan. Like Braun Breaker is going to be a WWE champion and like a world champion, like not Intercontinental because he's already there, right? I don't give a crap about him winning a U.S. title. Like the IC title means more to me than U.S. I'm sorry, it just does, right? But you're right. There's no reality where, and all respect to Finn Balor, the first Universal Champion. Like I'm a Finn Balor fan as well. I don't like Judgment Day Finn Balor though. I don't. I'm not a fan of it.
And I feel like they're building up to a split field there too. Like there's been
You're getting that too? You're feeling that too?
There's been a lot of interactions where it's like he's kind of checked out from the Judgment Day. He's blaming everybody in the Judgment Day. Nobody in there seems to want Finn Balor there either. So it's just really has come up to.
I thought Finn Balor and like it seemed like Vince McMahon there for a time when you had AJ Styles and Finn Balor, because these two were the leaders of the Bullet Club in New Japan Pro Wrestling, but at different times. But they had the tag team. I forget their names, but it's two buddies. But anyway, so I thought that would have been a really good faction because they called them. They weren't the Bullet Club. They were like the OC, the original club or whatever they called them. And I thought that could have been a good thing. Because then everybody already knows, okay, these are Bullet Club guys, right? Because most of the Americans, they go to New Japan and they get into the Bullet Club. Oh, you're Bullet Club kind of deal, right? I liked Demon Balor, like I liked all of that. Like I feel like that was where he did his best work.
It seems like they're kind of alluding to that because it's like there's been interactions where they're in the Judgment Day clubhouse and they're sitting around, they're all chalking, and Finn Balor's like this.
Mm-hmm. Like he's possessed a little bit,
yeah, a little bit. So it seems like they're kind of alluding to that at some point, and I'm interested. Like I like Finn Balor that way a lot better. Judgment Day Finn sucks. Like it's not doing him any favors, and honestly, it seems like just another hodgepodge fraction of just. Like I kind of want to see Finn if they still want to do him in a tag team thing, like when JD McDonough comes back, like. Have them to just solo tag team without the Judgment Day.
Yeah, because McDonough was one of his students, you know? So, like, that makes sense, and then Becky Lynch. Like, if you want to do, like, an Irish faction, like, sure, go for it. You have the personnel. But, like, him being, I guess he's the leader, I guess? Is he still the leader of we don't know.
There's never been a leader.
There wasn't supposed to be a leader. But I think his thing with Damian was, like, he started taking over.
Trying to be the leader.
And then Rhea was like the leader because she was a champion for a while, and like Liv now seems to be like the puppet strings master and stuff. And it's just and Carlito, like,
what is he doing?
Why is he even here? Like, he's just there. He's like the comedic relief.
Why is Liv Morgan with like what? None of this makes sense. Like none of this. Like Daddy Dom.
We know who these people are with outside of WWE. Thank you, Instagram. Like
we know.
No one ever believed for a second that Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio were together. She's married to Buddy Murphy. Like
they all showed up to his Dominic Mysterio's wedding, and jokingly, there's videos of them booing him. Like they're all friends outside of this. They're not. Yeah. They're all married.
So if you're gonna kill kayfabe, at least like acknowledge the fact that okay, this person's married to someone else. That person, like, you have to understand. Don't make it seem like they're having an affair. They're on national television. Not even national. Netflix is worldwide. So like in that way, you gotta kind of like look, man. Like if you're gonna do like creeping around and stuff like that, like it doesn't work with people like that who are clearly established with other people on their social medias and all that stuff like that.
Yeah. Was there another segment in there? Am I missing something?
No, just the rest of this Intercontinental title match, with Finn and Braun.
Oh yeah, God, we got sidetracked. So yeah,
that's sorry. I'm.
No, you're good. I totally forgot where. That's a good reminder. So Finn Balor did come out solo. Of course, Carlito and Dominic showed up midway through the match, and I feel like this is the end of the Judgment Day.
Especially after what Dominic did to Finn.
Dominic, well, he was
bumping
helping
him,
Finn.
Yeah, helping.
He tried to push Breaker off. Really, it just made Finn Breaker fall on his balls.
Yeah,
and basically lose the match. So Finn I feel like that's probably like the end of the Judgment Day right there. If you ever need to look back at a moment of why they're not together, that moment probably was it.
There's plenty. And then with all the segments we get of Dom trying to bring someone new into Judgment Day, and so it's like,
who?
All right,
by the way, like who are you trying to bring?
Well, so if you notice when they were doing the introductions and stuff, you know how they do the segments where people walk in the arena, stuff like that. You saw Karrion Kross, like doing his little puppeteer character thing with Dominic Mysterio. Yeah, like they were off to the side because how they have all the equipment lined up on the sides of the hallways and stuff.
Oh yeah.
They were over here on the side, and he was doing that little whisper in his ear kind of thing. So, not to say that they're going to try and bring in Karrion Kross. He is the leader of his own little faction, so that's not.
I think they're gone. Honestly,
I don't understand why. I know Paul Ellering is gone.
He's gone, and I think the AOP. I thought they were released from their contracts.
AOP was. I think so. Akam and Razor, like I like AOP. I like AOP. If they got rid of AOP, they're missing out. AEW is going to back up the money truck to them guys because they are legit badasses. But AOP. Yeah, like with Finn, or with Dom, causing Finn to lose like that. Oh yeah. Finn is losing his patience real quick.
The Authors of Pain. Akam and Razor, along with their manager Paul Ellering, were released from WWE February 7th.
No.
So yeah, they're gone.
No, I get Paul Ellering, which he's a legend. Don't get me wrong, but those two guys, you needed to keep them with Karrion Kross because then because they were dominating the tag team scene for a while when they were getting pushed, and they look believable. They're legit fighters and everything. Like they look believable, which is what you want. But after Finn gets knocked off on his little twig and dingleberries, Breaker hit that. I get what Pat McAfee called it the Breakensteiner instead of the Frankensteiner. Because let's not forget, Braun Breaker is a Steiner.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Big Papa Pump, Rip Steiner, like Steiner brothers, all that stuff like that. Like he's a Steiner bloodline. All right, so I think that's kind of cool. They call him the Breakensteiner, which that's something else that just goes to show how athletic this kid is. Oh my goodness! But he wins, and then he gets beat up. Start getting beat up. Braun keeps getting beat up by Judgment Day. I guess because Dom felt sorry for messing up Finn's moves or whatever. And
trying
then
to
of
make up
course
for it.
Penta. Yeah, trying to make up for it,
And then
then
Penta, for
we
some
get
reason,
Penta again, yeah.
Yeah, so he can have a stare off with Braun Breaker, which again, suspend belief here.
Yeah.
The Penta would have a good shot.
At least Penta's not one of those like tiny lucha guys. Penta's actually got a little size to him, but Braun is just so dominant, man. Like I don't see too many people in that category that could hang with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But overall, Raw was good. I think it was way better than SmackDown, honestly. And for a while there, SmackDown, I think, had been the better product over Raw. And I think Raw has kind of started to take that back over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And it's funny now they're even putting, Cena and Cody Rhodes on Raw, even though Cody Rhodes kind of has the SmackDown WWE title.
Yeah, trying to get as much exposure.
He's been on both, but it's like,
yeah,
it doesn't seem like they're really going brand specific like they used to.
It's funny you brought that up because I saw an article today about the how we do the draft and stuff every year. So they're supposed to be doing another draft after WrestleMania, but in the article they were talking about how fans aren't really invested in the draft anymore because one, like it doesn't seem like it matters what brand you're on. They're going to bounce back and forth. So what does it even matter anymore?
Yeah. And it's like in the draft, like you kind of get excited for the draft and then it's like, it's just nothing really happens anyway. Like they all like they stay on the same show. You might have a couple of people brought up from NXT. Like there's not like a big mix, like a big shakeup or anything like that.
Yeah.
It seemed like back in the day, it was like, they'd call a name and it was like, okay, Undertaker. Okay, Undertaker's switching brands. Like, oh shit,
because he's notoriously been a SmackDown guy. Yeah,
yeah. So now it's just turned into like, who cares?
I remember the biggest thing with the draft, like the biggest memory I have was when Triple H was coming back from his quad injury, and Stephanie McMahon was trying to schmooze him. Of course, them being on the show, they were married and had whatever, splitting up or whatever it was. And then I think Eric Bischoff was the GM of Raw at the time. I think, Raw. And so they were going back and forth. Who's going to sign him? Who's going to sign him? And then that was the big thing was who was Triple H gonna go with and this and that. And then, of course he ends up going to Raw, but I don't know. I'm with you, man. It doesn't seem like the draft really has as much impact as it used to.
Yeah.
But maybe this is Triple H's first draft, so maybe he can shake it up.
Maybe.
And really make us invested.
That's the hope.
Yeah.
So before the show started, you had a question or wanted a list.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
So here's our little game here. And everybody watching along, let us know who you have here. So the game is because SmackDown was in Barcelona, Spain, for the very first time ever, and something they brought up that I'm old enough to remember watching the Dream Team, the NBA Dream Team, in the Olympics of 1992. So the game is if you were to build a 5-person roster and a WWE Dream Team, if you will, who would your starting 5 be? And if you want, have a number 6 coming off the bench. In basketball, true fashion style, they believe in the 6 man. So who would the top 5 be? So in the comments, let us know who your top 5 or that 6 would be, and we'd love to interact with you about that. Yeah. So if I'm going to start, okay, I'll start at number 5. We'll go 5 to 1, and at the end we'll say who our number 6 coming off the bench is. Which I haven't thought about this all show. So I'm going off my 5 that I made. So number 5, I'll start. Number 5, I'm going Brock Lesnar. All right. Because I just feel like as far as dominance and he just has that presence whenever Brock Lesnar's there, everybody knows, hey, Brock Lesnar's here. We need to watch out. Okay. I mean, he's a legit badass. He's the alpha male. I think Pat McAfee called him the alpha male of our species, which I love that. My number 4, I'm going with Randy Orton. just because I think Randy Orton, one, has the size. Now, he wasn't always big. I get it. He used to be skinny. But Randy Orton is, to me, one of the top 5 all time. And he's got the pedigree.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Well, no, Triple H had the pedigree.
See what you did there. Speaking of which, my number 3 is Triple H. All right, because I've always been a huge Triple H fan. The Sledgehammer, the DX affiliation, like I'm a DX guy, through and through, DX guy. So I'm all in with Triple H. He's my number 3 all time. I guess Dream Team, you kind of count as a Mount Rushmore if you want to. But as far as 5 versus 5, right? So number 2, the Dead Man. Got to go Undertaker in this spot as far as longevity, dominance, championships. Yeah. I'm going the Dead Man, the Undertaker. Mm-hmm. And to fill up my top spot, I'm going number 1 is going to be Hulk Hogan. As far as Mount Rushmore, my dream team, because yes, we get it. A leg drop doesn't really hurt people, right? But it's the way he sold it, is his character, the way he was able to shift between bad and good, like NWO, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, all that stuff like that. The matchups he's had, just the greatness. I mean, he's a legend. So I'm going to save my number 6 for after I hear your 5.
Yeah, he brought it up before the show, and then we went right into the show, so I didn't actually have a whole lot of time to think on it. But
yeah, I'm putting him on the spot, everybody. I'm putting Jeff on the spot. So.
I really came into wrestling when I was 19, 20, somewhere in there. So I've had about 16 or so. In that era is kind of where I lived.
Sure.
So I think 5. It's going to be a few members of Evolution. I'm going to say Batista at 5.
Okay.
I think he'd match up well with your Brock Lesnar.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Well, not like Batista now because he's skinny as shit now. But
no.
Prime Batista WWE.
Yeah, prime. I got you. And that's where I'm going with my list, like them in their prime.
Yeah. Gosh, I want to go. I think I got to throw in like the ultimate opportunist. I'm going to say Edge.
Okay.
I want to say Edge. He's a legend, man. I don't know how you can say WWE. He's not the legend killer, which is why I would put him at 3. I would put Randy Orton in at 3.
Wait, so 5 you had was Batista,
Edge.
And then 4 Edge, okay.
And then I put Randy Orton 3.
Orton, all right.
I don't know how you can do this with like the whole. Like, ever since I came into it, it was always John Cena. Like
that's fair.
So I probably put Cena at 2. And then probably one of the most like just dominant, whatever, like one of the most legendary, iconic. It's got to be the Undertaker at 1.
I don't think anybody could argue with you there. I mean, of course, people are going to argue with you.
They're going to argue it, but like some of the matches between him and Edge were just outstanding. The match with him and Shawn Michaels, and this was so hard. So I guess that's where my 6 comes in, because it's just so hard to make a list and not have Triple H in it. I don't know, man. It's hard not to put him in the top 5.
Now keep in mind, this isn't a Mount Rushmore. This is these people at their prime, like 5 versus 5, 6 versus 6, whatever you want, in their prime. So I mean,
it's so hard to not have Triple H in that top 5. It pained me to do it, but it's like I feel like that's a really good team. Like if you're gonna go into like Survivor Series, I don't know, I like it. And it was also hard not to say someone like, just to throw in a big ass SOB. Like that's why I said Batista, but it's like Mark Henry, maybe Big Show with the knockout. Like I want to have that big, like the Great Khali or something.
Slow as molasses, but got power.
Yeah, but
Mark Henry would definitely be your guy then if that's the case.
I'll put Triple H as my 6th.
Yeah. Well, my 6, I'm gonna go John Cena. Now I like the historian in me wants to go Ric Flair. As far as an in-ring entertainer and on the mic, I don't think there's anybody better than Ric Flair. But if I'm doing 5 or 6 guys versus 5 or 6 guys in I guess not
in
realistic
prime, Survivor Series,
yes, I'm going John Cena over Ric Flair just because if I can't logically put Ric Flair against
and then
Batista, Edge, Orton, Cena, Undertaker, Triple H.
And then he throws in a Stone Cold, and then The Rock, who is I think is unmatched on the mic.
Well, keep in mind, Eric, we're not talking about Mount Rushmores. This is just a 5 versus 5, right? No entertainment, just straight up brawling, 5 versus 5. Now, Mount Rushmore, I like where your head's at.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because Mount Rushmore, Ric Flair is like in my top 3 Mount Rushmore.
Oh yeah, well then it would be like Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, like Macho Man, like
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, that would be that. Yeah.
Like right, the guys and that's where it was hard for me too, because I'm like, oh man, Ric Flair's so great, Shawn Michaels is so great, but then I had to think because like in ring performer,
like if you were to
Shawn
field
Michaels,
in their prime, the top
character,
5,
Ric Flair, in their prime, right, and that's so no disrespect to the Shawn Michaelses, the Bret Harts, the Ric Flairs, like no disrespect to them, these are in a fight. Right, these are the guys I want. You know,
who do you want in your starting lineup to fight?
To fight. Yes, not to cut a promo. Hey, now Mount Rushmore, y'all come back. Well, you never know when we're going to talk about our Mount Rushmore, but we've given you a couple little nuggets here to hold on to. But keep coming back, and we'll talk about our Mount Rushmore another time.
Chris Benoit. No, I'm kidding.
I think there might be 1 or 2 that would surprise some of you.
That's still too soon. Is it still too soon? Maybe a little.
I don't know. So. With the way they talk about CTE and brain injuries and stuff like that and mental health,
it needs to be discussed.
It does need to be discussed because the last time I checked, they pulled all of Benoit's matches and everything like that off of a lot of stuff after it happened and when WWE Network was still a thing. Yeah. But I do think we have to talk about that.
Yeah,
you know,
so I remember where I was when it happened. Because I was actually going to my first event in Houston. It was Vengeance Night of Champions, and it was set to be a fatal 4-way. And I can't remember who all was in it or who was the champion at the time. I know that one of the 4 in the fatal 4-way was Chris Benoit. You know, sitting there or whatever, and then all of a sudden, I want to say like John Morrison or somebody took his spot. I can't remember. But I was like, wait a minute, what the hell is going on here? Yeah. And a lot of people were just kind of confused.
Like I paid to see Benoit.
They didn't explain it. They didn't announce it. It was just here's a substitute, and it was just his music came out to the ring, and they started the match, and it was a good match. Yeah. But and then I got home, watched Monday Night Raw the next day, and because they were on Sundays, so we got home, whatever, watched Monday Night Raw, and they did like the entire episode of Chris Benoit. Like a whole remembering Chris Benoit, and then like a week later they redacted everything because they found out what happened.
Yep. Yeah, they do the silent or not the silent, but they do the bells.
No,
for the fallen wrestler.
Episode was just like the career of Chris Benoit. They used to do that, if a legend like that would pass away. It was like most of the episode was just the life of Chris Benoit. And then they're like, yeah, we regret everything that we said about Chris Benoit. And then they just went into Monday Night Raw. It was like, oh,
we take it back. We take it back.
Like, I have never seen a company backpedal so hard.
Since China, maybe.
Yeah.
But China got screwed. But that's another topic for another episode. So rest in peace to China. And with Chris Benoit, that's gonna be another discussion as far as Hall of Fame and stuff like that.
He'll never get.
With what happened, probably
it'll never happen. You can't put that into the Hall of Fame. Like I'm not trying to make light of it, but yeah, you can't.
No, you're totally right. You're totally right. They're gonna use those excuses as long as they can. But that's hopefully I'm excited to see we got a month until WrestleMania. So we can see we're just gonna be ready. We got some really good matches lined up so far.
Yeah,
I'm pretty excited. So look to see what the lead up is
for sure. We're we're going live now. We're finally, I don't know what was going on before. It wouldn't connect. Now it's connecting. So we're going to be coming out probably every Tuesday night just to recap Friday Night SmackDown, Monday Night Raw. And if there's a PLE, we'll obviously talk about that on Monday or Tuesday for Saturday as well. So some episodes might be a little meatier than others. But yeah, make sure you hit that notification bell, like, share, subscribe so you don't miss it. And hopefully, no more illnesses and we can get these out consistently, promptly for y'all's viewing pleasure. And drop a comment. Top 5 all time. All time. It can be all time. It can be whoever you'd want to see in a fight against our guys. But yeah, let us know. And let us know what you thought about the last couple episodes of SmackDown and Raw and where you think it's going. Make sure you
maybe I'll put some of these dream matches, our 5 versus your 5, in the new 2K25, new WWE 2K25, and see how it works out.
Yeah, we could do brackets. No, I'm kidding.
Right. So our own Survivor Series, or we'll do our own old school Survivor Series, where it's tournament style.
Yeah, there we go. But all right. Well, I think that's a good place to leave it. We're just past an hour 15, so make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe, and we'll see y'all on next Tuesday. And again, if you like football, AFC South, Unstable, we're there. I think we're going to go live either Thursday or Friday night. So catch us there too. Until next time, y'all be good people.